Hi guys, it's Melissa from 70 Acres Studio, and I'm going to be making my spaghetti squash casserole. So here we go. I've scraped the seeds out of them. They are upended in a baking dish, a glass baking dish with about an inch of water in them. And they're going to go into the microwave. I'm going to do an initial 15 minutes. And what you're looking for is you're looking to be able to stick the knife or the fork in tender. So fork tender, knife tender. Right now you can see it's not. So we're going to do 15 minutes and then we'll take it out, we'll check it, and then we will put it back in if it needs it. In the meantime, I'm going to start cutting up my onions and garlic. I forgot to mention, I'm going to put sausage in my casserole. I'm going to get that going on the stove. So this is one of my favorite sausages from down around here. It's called Nice. Here you go. And it is spicy. It comes in non-spicy, breakfast style, extra sage. And I just really enjoy it. So I'm just going to be breaking it up into my kadai. And this is an Indian cookware pot. It's aluminum, and I love the way it works. Things really don't stick too badly. So I'm just breaking up the sausage, and I'll use the fat from the sausage to cook the onions and the garlic and my seasonings. And again, the spaghetti squash is in the microwave. We set it for 15 minutes, and we will see how tender it is after that, and probably have to put it in for like another 10 minutes or so. But it's certainly much easier than doing it in the oven, because I'm going to need the oven afterwards, and it would probably take an hour, hour and a half in the oven if it was raw. So let me go wash my hands. Now you can use as much onion and as much garlic as you want in this recipe. This is really a free-form recipe. There's no measurements happening here, okay? And if your sausage starts to stick before it starts to render, you can always put a little water in it. Okay. These are not Vidalias, but they are sweet onions. And I eat a lot of onion and a lot of garlic. It's good for you. There's that. And you can't see what I'm doing. I'm down here cutting up onions. Peeling the onion. Let me go get rid of the garbage here. And you can cut your onions any way you want. It's really, your preference. I'm just cutting them willy-nilly. That's fine by me. Yeah, about half inch. It doesn't really matter. It's completely up to you if you like it diced or minced or whatever. Sanjay's going to stir the sausage for me. Again, if you don't like a lot of onion, you can use half an onion. You can use a small onion. I like big onions and I use them whole. And now I'm working on a bit of garlic here. Again, it's completely up to your discretion. I like a lot of garlic. And don't mind my fingers. I have ink on them. Some arting yesterday. Doing some Citrusolve and some Nat Geo magazines. We're waiting for PJ to get here. At last check, he's about at mile marker 150 on Interstate 81. So this should be done by the time he's here. What I'm going to do is after I cook up the onions and the garlic and the sausage and all of that, I'm going to put the tomatoes in. And I'm going to be using some organic canned tomatoes and some organic diced tomatoes, tomato sauce and diced tomatoes. And I also have some organic tomato paste to add also. Yep, these are what I'm using. They're from Costco, organic diced tomatoes. You get them in a whole box. And then organic tomato sauce. I really don't like canned tomato products, but it's really good. And this is the Cento organic tomato paste. And it comes in a tube. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of tomato products stored in metal cans, but these don't taste bad. So, I'm just gonna cut the ends off. Oh, let me rotate you upward. There you go. You can see the sausage. It's cooking. It's starting to smell good. You could use Italian sausage. You could skip the sausage entirely. You could do bacon. You could do chicken. Or you could make it vegetarian and skip it. Skip the meat. I'm going to also be putting in cheese, both shredded cheddar and I have cottage cheese. And then on the top, I'm going to sprinkle some Parmesan cheese. And Rosie is right here watching. So I'm sure you all know how to chop up garlic. I just cut the stem end off of it and then I crush it and it comes out. So this is basically, I'm just going to chop this up into real fine pieces. I'm going to add it to the onions and we're going to wait until the sausage cooks. And I will come back as soon as we're ready for the next step. All right, so our sausage is cooked and I've put it in a little dish. There is not very much oil in here at all. And I'm going to add to that, the stove is still on, it's on medium. I'm going to add my onion and my garlic. And I'm going to let that cook. Hopefully you can see. Yeah, you should be able to. And if they start to stick, I'm going to add a little bit of hot water in here. And that will also deglaze the pan to get all the goodies, all the little brown bits from the sausage into the pan. And I'm going to add an abundance of Italian seasoning, because I do like a lot of seasonings. I've got some salt here. This is an Indian spice bowl. It's a large box with seven smaller containers in it, and you can put whatever seasonings you use the most. So I did a little bit of salt. I'm gonna do a little bit of turmeric and a little bit. This is Kashmiri red pepper. It's not as spicy as regular. This is ground cumin seeds. Okay, this is actually ground coriander here. So we'll just put that in there. Those are my end of the Indian spices that I'll add. I just checked our spaghetti squash. They were still hard as a rock. So I'll put it in for another 15 minutes. Timing depends on the size of the squash and the power of your microwave. Here's the Italian seasonings. This is just a blend. It has basil, oregano, thyme, rosemary, marjoram, and garlic. And I try to be very liberal with the spices. They really add a massive depth of flavor. So that should be good. And that is where we are now. I will come back when we're ready to check the spaghetti squash and add the tomatoes here. Okay, the spaghetti squash are done. This is what we mean by tender, but they're way too hot to hold right now. Our onions and our garlic have cooked down quite a bit. They look good. Let's see if I can show you. There we go. So they look good. And I've reduced the flames down to low. And I'm going to add the tomato paste right here. Just however much you like. I guess I added a good tablespoon, a little bit more. You can open up the other one. And I'm going to put a little bit of water in there. Yeah.
Fabo never made any good.
Okay, so you can get rid of those. Thank you. So I've got them in now. And I'm going to add the sausage back so all the flavors can meld. Alright, so we're just going to leave this on low for a little while, just to let all the flavors meld together. And let me get you back down here so you can see what's going on. Okay, so here is the squash. And if you cut it this way, you'll get longer strands. If you cut it down the middle of it, you will get shorter strands. I really don't care what size the strands are because, you know, they're all going to get balled up in, you know, in the casserole. But, I mean, you just use your fork and scrape it out. It's really easy. And you can get pretty close to the skin. You can see in spots there that you can see right through to the back. That's fine. The skin is just tough. It's not going to kill you. Gives you extra fiber. Okay. So there we go. And it has broken on me, so just scrape to So you get it all out. Don't want to waste any of it. It's really good for you. That's sweet. There you go. So I'm going to do the same thing again. Wash, rinse, repeat. Smells good. It smells buttery and nutty, kind of almost like popcorn. Smells good. You can add olive oil, salt, and pepper to the water, but I don't worry about it because I season my foods pretty heavily. So they'll get plenty of seasonings from the tomato and onion mix here. Hi, Rose. Rosie's right under my feet here. She smells the sausage. All right, so you say it's pretty translucent here. Okay, so that's about where you want to take it. And the tomato mixture is starting to bubble. So that is going to be good. And I'm getting out cottage cheese here. Just from, Walmart. Okay. And I've got sawdust, otherwise known as Parmesan cheese. And I have some shredded cheddar. Okay, you can use whatever cheeses you like. And being that that is bubbling, I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to start out with a spoonful of the sauce mix just to coat the bottom of the pan. And I'm going to light my oven. I'm going to put it in for 375. And we'll see how far we get with that. Basically, you want it to, you want some of the water to cook off, to evaporate. That intensifies the flavors. Gives a chance for all the flavors to meld together. So we have some of that. You could use ricotta cheese if you'd like, but this is fine for me, so. Okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna spread it out here. You're layering it like baked ziti or lasagna, or just like to have a variety of flavors here. Okay. And I give it a nice heavy coat of Parmesan at the end because that gets real crispy. It almost like a crust. It tastes really good. Another layer of this. Oh, I just love this stuff. This would be great for a party. You could do up 2 squash. And you could get one of those disposable baking trays. If you're going to do 2 squash to make it for a party or a big dinner, I would 2 cans of tomato sauce, 2 cans of diced tomatoes, 2 onions, twice the garlic. All right, so we'll have enough for 1 more layer here. And I like to use cottage cheese in place of ricotta sometimes. Yeah, it's very hard to find ricotta down here. The South doesn't quite understand it. I also can't find escarole down here either. So all right, we're going to do one more layer here. Probably want to put this on a cookie tray and you put it in your oven just in case it bubbles over. All right, yeah, because that's getting kind of high there. I think we'll forego the cottage cheese and just go with a nice layer of cheese on the top. The cottage cheese has a lot of liquid in it. Okay. How's that looking? I think it's looking pretty snazzy. Okay. My oven is 2-tier. Oh, that was perfect timing. The oven sheets are ready. And so I'm using just the upper oven. So I've just lined a cookie tray with a piece of foil. And I'm going to put this is heavy, guys, so be careful. This is going to go in the oven now, probably half hour, 45 minutes. There we go. And again, I've got it set at 375, and I'm just going to let it go. Okay, guys, it is out of the oven. I baked this at 375 for about 35 minutes. Around 15 minutes in, I had to put foil over it because it was getting too brown.
I was not baked, by the way.
No, and he's not baked. So he has arrived safely. And we are about to dive into this delicious casserole.
But then I'll have to take a shower.
Oh, okay. But anyway, so there you have it. There is my spaghetti squash casserole.
Hello.
Thanks for watching, everybody.